Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. As always, I am Amber and this is the BGE Cloud. I am so excited to have you guys with me as I demonstrate this tutorial for an easy beginner-friendly base routine. So we're going to be talking foundation, we're going to be talking contour, we're going to be talking highlights. So do stick around for more detail on how to get a flawless skin base routine. I love y'all, stay tuned. I have all of my products laid out in front of me and we're going to do our base routine. So the primary focus of this video is to show you an easy foundation, concealer, and contour routine that is beginner friendly, I pinky swear, and we're going to be able to go through this relatively quickly. And then I'll be posting a follow-up video that is primarily focused on the eyebrow. So, which is why it's undone. So I've already done my eye makeup for today. I was feeling a little bit more dramatic than I normally do, just for a regular day. So I'm just moving a couple things around, get my mirror ready so that we can start. So I want this makeup to last all day. So I'm going to use a primer. I've already done my skincare and prepped my face with all of my juices, berries, and potions. So I've got a fair amount of primer on my finger. I'm going to warm that up and then we're going to apply it. So I'm going to have to remember that I already have makeup on. So I want to apply this primer everywhere that makeup is going. So boom. All right, and we want to let that dry down for a second. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I have been layering my foundations recently. No rhyme or reason. It's not necessarily a hack. I just like the way my makeup sits when I do it. So there's that. I'm going to be using a beauty blender today for my foundation and contour. I'm using about 3 pumps of foundation. 3. I'm not big on odd numbers, but 3 is usually just right for the coverage that I want. Blend until everything is nice and even, so you have a nice canvas to work with as you're completing your makeup look. If you don't learn anything else from my channel, you guys, just blend. Blending your makeup out is a lot like seasoning your food, okay? Blend until the ancestors say stop. I'm satisfied with how my foundation looks. I apply my contour first. This is a little bit more than an everyday look. I felt like being a little extra today. So today I am going to contour my nose using a contour stick. And you can use whichever contour you like. I kind of use like my natural face shape as an idea of where I want to put my contour. So you'll see people who will do the fishy face. A lot of people will line their contour up with this portion of their ear. I feel like given my face shape, that's a little bit too low for me. So I'm going to take my contour kind of between this point in my ear, kind of where like this little sideburn situation stops. That's where I'm going to place my contour, right there. And I think that that is great for helping to shape my face the way that I want. I'm creating an up pulling shape, and then I always like to kind of contour in this little section. Since my forehead is out today, I will contour her, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just kind of looking at your face and figuring out what you want to do. And you don't have to contour the same way every time. You just want to understand your face shape and the look you're trying to create. With this dramatic eye, I want everything to kind of be pulled up. So that's why I placed my contour where I placed it. Oh, and I told you guys I was going to contour my nose today. So I'm going to start, we're going to be, it's going to be a light contour. It's not going to be as harsh as my cheeks, but I'm just going to do a straight contour situation right down my nose. So a lot of times, kids, you just got to trust the process. Yeah, we're going to do that. So now's the fun part. I usually don't put both on my face. I don't put both my contour and my highlight on my face. I'll do one or the other. So I'm going to go ahead and blend out my contour. I'm using the same beauty blender I used before. Yeah, so the bottom side has foundation on it, and then I'll use the top side for my lighter shades, my concealer shades. So I'm going to, again, like you guys have seen on my channel before, I blend, I pat, and I blend up. And so if you aren't used to wearing a lot of makeup, and you're like, what is the contour for? Your contour creates shadows on your face. And usually, if you are in theater or work with any kind of art, you know that shadows usually push things back, right? So when you create a shadow, you're creating kind of a something that's pushed back. All right, and then when you add highlight to those shadows, you're bringing forward something. You're highlighting something, bringing it to the forefront. You want it to be seen. You want it to be accentuated. So that's what you're doing when you add your contour and your highlight. Okay? So some people say you're making something smaller, but that's not always the case. You're just accentuating a different part. So like, I really, really love my nose, but if I wanted to do a particular look, say I wanted to do a cosplay where I was imitating a specific character, I would paint my nose in such a way that would make me look closer to that character, and vice versa. So boom. I'm happy with the level that that's blended out. Next up, dropping things. Next, we're gonna go in with my contour, or sorry, my highlight. And I'm using concealer. I'm gonna use two different concealers. I'm going to use a thick concealer because yes, obviously. And I'm not going to conceal down my nose because though I did contour, I'm not trying to bring a lot of attention down the straight of my nose. It's just unnecessary for me. I'm also trying a concealer for the first time. The second concealer that I'm using, I'm trying that out for the first time. So I will have to give you guys an update of the wear test. But I like a really bright under eye, hence why this is so light. So, and we're going to be generous because I'm doing a pretty dark eyeliner look. So those are my my highlight placements, and we're just going to blend that out. So I am going to take my sponge. Again, I use the bottom for foundation and contour. Now I'm going to go in and use the top part, the pointed part, because the shape is flattering under my eye. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to pat this out and pull it up to really, really help dramatize this eye look that I've created. And this upper lip situation is just so my mustache doesn't peek through. This is actually like 75% of the trouble here. Next, I'm going to bake. And I know there's still some back and forth with the makeup girlies. Do we bake? Do we not bake? I'm gonna bake, okay? I bake under my eyes because I like the way it looks. And if that means I'm stuck in 2016, then so be it. But one thing I know is I'm gonna look good. So boom, getting my little powder puff, going into my powder, and because I want to do this right, I'm gonna try to do this freehand without the mirror. We gonna see. Okay, so boom, go right up under that eye, everywhere where you put concealer, you're going to want to put some powder, okay? And when the powder is fresh, you want to try not to look down and create creases, because if you create creases in your makeup with your setting powder, baby, that's just how it's going to be, okay? All right. So, now my makeup order, I never do my eyebrows this late in the game, but trying to show y'all something because I care. And what did I do? I just looked down. So we're gonna need to fix some things really quick. Okay. Now, Amber, I know you're asking, Amber, where is your forehead highlight? Baby, my forehead is lit enough. I don't need, I don't need to add any highlight there, okay? So again, a lot of your makeup journey is going to be about you knowing your face and understanding the look that you're trying to create. Now, I could add a little of the leftover powder on the sponge here, not necessarily to create a highlight, but to just help with some of the shine from the foundation and kind of go from there. So I'm going to jump off cam, do my brows, and then come back because the brows are going to be a separate video for y'all, and I'll be right back. All right, girly pops, I'm back. Eyebrows are done. So let's get ready to get rid of this excess powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm actually going to pat what's left, and then we're going to spray our face and go forward from there. So we're patting. Pat, 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 pat. I'm going to go all the way across the nose. Now, if I really wanted to sharpen this look, I could have added powder under my contour, but I just didn't feel like it was all that necessary. Let me just hit this again. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. So once you get your powder where you like it, I now would invite you to spray your face for the first time with whatever setting spray you're going to use, and have your fan handy. So I like to use a fan so that I don't make creases in my face. And what I mean by that is when you spray your face, you should keep your face still. You shouldn't move it. You shouldn't have any expression. You shouldn't move your eyes up or down where it could cause creases. So yeah, so let's spray. All right, so that's dry. And now this is where I would come in and add my blush. Let's take a look at the eyes. The eyes have some orangey undertones, so I'm going to use an orange blush. Sometimes if I have a brush, new, used, whatever the case is, and I feel like it looks a little stiff, I will rub it on my arm or somewhere, on the back of my hand even, just to get the bristles loose and to kind of warm it up like off my body heat. But that's just me, so you can do what you want. So I'm going to go in with the blush. Some people go in with the bronzer at this point to kind of deepen their contour. I don't feel the need for that today. I'm going to be out in the real world. I'm not going to be on stage or anything, so I don't want like a really, really crazy dark contour situation. And if you've seen me do my makeup before, you know that I like to start my blush back here. And that's just a preference of mine. And I'm going to pat that blush in. Pat, 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 pat. I like to bring it kind of up to the top of my eyebrow and down by the apple of my cheek. And we're just adding a little pop of color back into the face. Okay, and then for my highlight, I have a beautiful fan brush here. And what I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to do the high points on my face that I actually want to bring forward. So again, take your mirror, look, high points of your cheeks, right there. And I like to do under my brow. I am going to take the same brush that I used to put my blush on. I'm going to take that and kind of help blend that highlight out a little bit, because you don't want it to look like you just threw highlight on your face. And that's that. So let me put my lips on and we will close this video. All right, friends, so this is our final look. What do you think? Thank you so much for staying around for our base routine tutorial. I hope that you got something out of it. If you have any questions about anything that I did in the video or any products I used, please be sure to comment below. Do everything you're supposed to do on these platforms, like, share, subscribe, and be sure to stay tuned for our next tutorial to post. I love you. Have a great day. Talk soon. Bye.